Oh my god. Praise be for Queen Garon. Her Eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dirk Sadmadi, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder. No, it can't be. Dirk would never. There must be some kind of mistake. She's using this as an opportunity to turn them against him, I think. The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garan allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honour your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Ooh! Huh? Now I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dirk Sadmadi. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But that's my job! But your eminence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. As Queen of Karine, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. Wait. What? I wonder if Nayuta's gonna... I'm like, doubt it. Oh. Wait. You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. Know when you were defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I am willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? No, why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like if our assumptions are all wrong? It just might work. Well, don't keep us waiting, defense. Dirk became the prime suspect, because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed? After the body was found? Wait, what? He was killed after his body was found. Yeah, okay. What? After he entered the tomb. Before, obviously. His death was at 3 PM on the dot, was it not? Yeah, isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means... you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make sense. So far so good. This might actually work. You have to get past go around though. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes! Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafer. Surely she has recovered by now. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? Oh, poor judge. Is she still distraught? Yep. I hope you are feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time. How could my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence? Princess Rafer seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. She's probably feeling super useless. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Satmadi, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I take issue with that, mostly because of how it's worded. Not issue as in, like, there's something wrong with it. I don't even know if I want to put... I'm not putting money on anything, but... I have a feeling her mother is not Queen Garan, but it's Queen Amara. Yeah. From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother. And only yesterday. Rafer was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial here today. So there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. Garan told Rafer about something other than Amara's status. Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rafer, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? If I have to. Yes, I am ready to testify. Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. So her testimony, which is what Rafer witnessed. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon... Pardon me. Gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda. Pardon me. Around 2:30 I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then, at about 2:45 I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. Your second floor veranda? Aren't you fancy? Yes, the thing to the left. Oh, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. So that's the location from which you saw your father? And at about 2:30. Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence. So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered. The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Also, she'd like us to believe. Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head. Forgive me, Your Eminence, but first, let us allow the defense to question the witness. Thank you. God, the judge is on my side. Woo! What Rafa witnessed. On the day the murderer was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda, she only has false statements. Hot damn. You say you'd been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. There is much that weighs on my mind. I see. She really does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Wait. Oh. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. Wonder if I am up to the task. I wonder if I am even up to the task. I guess it's not easy being a princess. Your benevolence? I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk. What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life. Sheesh. Teenagers. Your benevolence, what did you witness from your veranda? Well... At 2:30 PM, I saw my father head into Amara's tomb. Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. There was? Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual colour. He screamed and he was looking pale. What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream. Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the Queen. It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry. That was rude of me. It was just a joke. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony. I didn't even get a choice. So my father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale. Okay. Why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else, just my father. That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Press softly, harshly? Be nice and leave it be. Ooh. Press her... yeah. Your benevolence. Let's have some details, the more the better. Details, you say? Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Ooh. Well... Jesus. Is that a yes or a no? Foreign devil. I've been gazing upon your upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped him then. Wait, what? I think you've struck a nerve, or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 PM, huh? Please add that to your testimony, Your Benevolence. So I've been gazing upon the courtyard since Tooth was the only one I saw. Do I have anything? No. Notepad. Okay. God, I almost... Here's a Mars assassination file. Objection! Yeah, Shadow would have been in the courtyard. Your Benevolence? You're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Rafer, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that around 2 PM, his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone. Ah, that's Nana's. I mean, nothing. Never mind. There it is. You fool of a daughter. It seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nana sometime after 2 PM yesterday. Please, Your Benevolence, tell us what you really saw. I mean, you let it slip. Ooh. It's as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Because, my mother told me not to. What? Would you care to explain, Your Eminence? I request you withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case. You don't get to decide. Okay. If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh, I will. Your Benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana. Alright. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait. That means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. Ah! Yes, but only for a moment. This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Your Benevolence, are you sure no one else was there? Oh, yes. She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was... she was gone. Gone? Yes, and I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. What? Have you seen Shadow? I seriously doubt that. But how could Nana simply disappear while Rafer wasn't looking? Rafer must know something. The only question is, what? Where she disappeared to, why Shadow was in, why she disappeared. Where Nana disappeared to. Yeah, where did she go? Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. And it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No. Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean... first my father, and now Nana? These were the people I trusted most. How could this be? Ooh. Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb. That much is certain. How do you know? How can you be so sure? When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed curse spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorsteps. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes it is. While that dingback dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over an urn, or the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Then... That's right, Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana. That's right, Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination. Oops. Another glorious deduction. All hail the genius that is Her Eminence, Queen Garan. Bow down to before her glory, witless lawyer. Udihara Garan! If those guys fanboy any harder? Haha. But is it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but... Mr. Wright? Your benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nana? I believe it was about 2:15 PM. I see. Apollo, if Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream. Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he was attacked, he saw a ghost, he had a bad dream, he was attacked. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime. Does your idiocy know no bounds? The Minister's body was found in the tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved? Do I think the Minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility... Oh god. Exists? I mean, he's in the tomb, so sure. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there is a possibility. What utter nonsense. Raver had been watching the courtyard. Yet you would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed. You have a point there. In that case, I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Naina's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe... Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Naina in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Oh, decidedly. Prosecutor said, Marty, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of? Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him. Objection! Wrong. I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous, so he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my, are you? Are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Naina with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee, right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water? Excellence. Guess that means no. How dare you bore me like this? Huh? You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing. Your Eminence. Oh no. Uh-oh. Nayuta? You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Now hold on. Uh-oh. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. He's gonna tighten it. Ah! Please stop. Nayuta has a point. Normally most people would notice a dagger in their back. Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Yes, we know. Right. There must be something that explains this. Something to deal with excruciating pain in the back. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain. And the defense will submit evidence proving just that. Very well. Please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice that he had been stabbed? Because he takes medication. There we go. Ta-da! The medication Inga used for his back pain, said to make the pain disappear, as it sounds like it numbs the area. Painkiller shots. Those are my father's painkiller shots. The defense will explain the significance of this evidence. Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence. Ooh. You can't mean... Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injects the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he had been stabbed. What? What's this? Ooh. I think that was the closest we ever got to Garen, cracking as well. She was surprised. Then... Are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really did, or really ran off with a knife